Now, call me a stupid person, a commie, or whatever, as I've just been recently called on one of my past videos, and then tell me whether you should not be suspicious about the timing of this incident in Portland, Oregon. Now, there is no doubt that there are going to be people out there who want to cause American citizens harm. The question, however, is that evidently our foreign policy goes right along with this, and it is nothing in that direction is ever questioned. But you see, what you're looking at is at the symptoms is what you're looking at. You're not looking at the cause. And so with this, I mean, the timing of this whole thing has got to be questioned. I mean, come on, people. First, we have this big uproar, and I might add that this was an uproar coming from basically every quarter of American society, not just liberals, but also conservatives, that the TSA tactics at airports have gone way beyond what they should be. Basically, it's a violation of our rights, and it's completely unconstitutional to search people at airports with no cause, with no you're a suspect before you even enter the airport. So, and the only way you can prove your innocence, so to speak, is to go through these scanners and ridiculous searches. So yeah, there was quite an uproar about it, and now during this uproar, now here comes this incident of another foiled terrorist plot on U.S. soil. And conveniently in a smaller city, so that ordinary people all over America who don't happen to live in Philadelphia, in New York, or Chicago, have something else to fear now. I wonder how far this guy would have gotten without interference from the FBI. Probably nowhere. And as I said in one of my comments on another video on here, it's very easy to recruit 19-year-old kids into and goading them into basically anything you want them to do. This is not just done here in America. It's done elsewhere as well. We have young 19-year-old recruits being recruited into the U.S. Army thinking that they're fighting for freedom when they're actually fighting for U.S. imperialism and U.S. domination all over the globe, although of course they're too young to see that. They're too young. And so this young man probably was also too young to see that this greater cause that was being dangled in front of him, namely this jihad thing, should be questioned. And anybody that still has any brain cells left in the United States of America should, from the very beginning, question this incident and the timing of it. I mean, how convenient is all of this? To just dangle fear in front of you again. Now we're all going to be afraid. Oh, we can't go out. We can't do this and that. We best stay home, in front of our televisions to read and to hear all these stories. My God. Your chances of dying in a car crash are probably much higher than dying in a terrorist incident of any kind. But you know what? This whole hype, and you'll see this television footage which I have just seen, this whole scaremongering shit. And then the next commercial comes on, and which tells you, oh, don't be afraid, go shopping. You please do something for your loved ones. buy the latest iPod, or buy the latest computer program, or contribute to your latest charity, which doesn't pay any taxes, and so on. I mean, Orwell couldn't have imagined such a world, because it is so utterly effective on the human psyche that anybody who speaks out against it is basically being laughed at. Seriously. I have liberal friends and I have some conservative people that I associate with, and they're all like, oh my God. All it takes is one incident, and all the prior incidents are already forgotten. And the Department of Homeland Security, from what I heard, they kind of scrapped that color-coded system. Well, now they've taken it a step further. You don't need the color codes anymore. That was just too, it was too obvious, too obvious to anyone. Basically, everybody was laughing at it. So now they're doing the non-obvious, or rather, well, to some of us it is rather obvious. And now here comes this next big scare. It's just, it blows the mind how most American people are being indoctrinated by this shit without being able to see the larger picture behind it. This is basically conditioning you to give up your rights. As long as somebody with a government badge comes along and tells you, well, you're going to have to give up your rights temporarily. And then I might add, who controls our government? Because it certainly isn't us. Our government is controlled by multinational corporations in virtually every election across the country. And if you think that just because you voted for Rand Paul and that he's some sort of independent grassroots candidate, you should look at the public figures out there in terms of his financing and where that comes from. As I say, our system is so corrupt. And this doesn't just include the Republicans, it includes the Democratic Party as well. Absolutely. So it all depends on how the elites want to channel our anger. And right now that anger is being channeled towards people who don't look like yourselves, who are in a weaker position than yourselves, and that's just fine with them. So don't fall for this crap. It's classic. It's classic divide and conquer. If anybody hasn't figured this out by now, I don't know what to say. I know people want to be honest in terms of their research and understanding of others, but this thing should be obvious to anybody right now. Good night.